Hey everyone, Jaydan here with Background Check Podcast, and just wanted to introduce today's episode. First of all, thank you for watching, whether you're watching from inside prison, jails across the nation, on whatever tablet app you're watching it on. Snowman thanks you too. Want to say thank you to everyone who watches, and I also want to just talk about how much it costs, not only financially, but time-wise and everything, to put on the show. And it is part of our ForgivenFelons ministry, where we travel around the nation to prisons and jails to share our story and the love of Jesus with everybody. And then we have the transitional house as well, and we're working on the ranch. And so just wanted to invite you, if you wanted to partner with us to help us to continue to do the podcast. I ran into some people just recently at a Quick Trip. It's going to be more in depth on the next episode, but at Quick Trip, they all worked in like construction or something. They all had construction vests on, and all of a sudden they came up to me and go, "Hey, you're Jaydan from Background Check Podcast," and all of them knew me and watched me and Jessa from prison. And so it was just the neatest thing. So we know that this show has an impact on the inside. We also know the house has an impact. We also know the ranch will have an impact. We know that the traveling from here to prisons all across the nation has an impact. And so we would just like to invite you, if this has ever had an impact on you or your loved one, or you just want to make a donation to some fertile soil, and we'd like to invite you to do that. So you can go to ForgivenFelons.org to give. You could also give through our Cash App that will be in the show notes here. And but yeah, we'd like to invite you to partner with us. It takes a lot of money, and sometimes we fall short of our budget, especially with the house when there's not much men in the house. So we'd like to invite you to help partner with us for a year. $50, $100 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever you can do to help us stay afloat and continuing to do the things that we've been doing for a long time. We hate to start cutting things, and we don't think we need to, but we also believe there's somebody out there watching this that God has laid it on your heart to partner with us, whether it's a one-time end of the year gift, or partner with us monthly for a year maybe. But we want to say thank you to all of y'all, not only the ones who watch and pray, but also to the ones that already give. We thank you so much. And to those of you who are watching that used to be inside watching, thank you to you guys as well. I'm thinking of Brad Henderson in Florida. Thank you, Brad. Just got out. Well, he's been out for a year, and he just contacted me finally. But anyway, this interview today is with Stephen Trevino. I saw him on a Facebook post that somebody else shared, and I immediately was intrigued. And so I contacted him and said, "Hey man, I got to have you on the show." And he said, "Man, I don't know. I haven't really started sharing my story yet." Because as a businessman, you're scared, especially someone who comes into backyards. You're scared to share your story, and people know who you are that may not let you in their backyard anymore. But he's the CEO, owner of I Scoop Poop, and he's got a great story. It's a long story, and that's one of the reasons why, again, we're not doing the announcements in front of interviews, but it's a great story. So many twists and turns. Man, he talks about the season where he turned his life over to God. It was because of a fight, a pretty good fight. So, man, I can't wait for you to hear this story with Stephen Trevino. He's truly the epitome of not letting your background hold you back, but making it pay you back. When he first got out, man, he did some amazing things to just start making money and put away all the excuses. And so there's some really good stuff in here today. Don't forget to share this show with somebody you know. You can watch it also on Apple Podcasts and Podbean, but you can watch it from YouTube. Wherever you watch it, maybe leave a review, thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share the show. And we want to say thank you again to everybody who makes this possible. And don't let your background hold you back, but make it pay you back. Enjoy the show.
Let's go!
Have you or someone you know had your life turned upside down because of your past?
Of course I have!
Everyone does background checks now, which makes it hard to bounce back.
What do you believe?
I believe your background shouldn't hold you back. It should pay you back. This podcast will inspire you, motivate you, and inform you with everything you need to rise above your past and not be afraid to say, go ahead, check my background. My name is Jaden Gum, and this is Background Check.
You already know. Let's go. You can check my background. I'm a forgiving felon, so tell them that I won't back down. No. You can bet I won't live in regret. It's time to earn some respect. You are tuning in to Background Check.
All right, everybody, welcome to Background Check Podcast, where we believe your background shouldn't hold you back. It should pay you back. I'm your host, Jaden Gum. And thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you watch on YouTube, whether you watch on NCIC, Adobo, the podcast app, Apple, Spotify. We're not on Spotify anymore. Sorry. They got some weird things to do with video, and I don't have time to figure it out. So we're not on Spotify. Podbean is the place to either watch or listen to us. Apple Podcasts, you can watch or listen to us. Like I said, in prison, Adobo app, NCIC podcast app. Thank you. And we're kind of doing things different now. If you notice, Jessa hasn't been on lately. We're going to do separate episodes. Instead of her and I doing announcements before the interview, we're going to do our own little separate episode with all of our normal stuff. And when it's time for an interview, it's just going to be me and the interviewee, and that's it. So hope you're okay with that. I know you want Jessa every episode. I get it. She's fun. She's fun to be around. She's fun to talk to. But I just want to say, first of all, again, thank you for watching us. And every guest that we have on just has incredible stories, including the one we have on today. Sometimes I find my stories through personal relationships. Sometimes I find them from the news. We had a guest on that was on Shark Tank one time. We've had state representatives on. We've had so many people on the show from wherever. And this one came from a mutual friend on Facebook posted reshared his story. And I was like, man, I got to know this guy. I immediately friend requested him, and he accepted my friend request. I had to move some people, because Facebook only lets you have so many friends. So I had to delete some friends to add him. But so far it's been worth it. Yeah. Steven Trevino. Do you go by Steve or Steven?
Both. You call me Steven. Steven. Scooper Steve.
Trevino or Vino?
Is it Trevino? Trevino.
All right.
Or Trevino, man. People say, "Hey, who are you?" I'm Trevino.
All right.
Trevino.
There you go.
Steven Trevino.
Did you have a nickname inside?
Trevino. People call me Trevino.
All right.
And I still use that name till this day. Hey, what's up, man? I'm Trevino. It just flows. I don't even tell them my first name. Hey, what's up, man? I'm Trevino.
Okay. Well, man, again, thanks for accepting my friend request on Facebook. And thanks for accepting. I mean, a lot of people are like, who is this dude? Jaden Gum podcast. Who is he? And then when they find out where all we are and what we do, they're like, oh, wow. Okay. You've been around a long time and you're doing good things. So anyway, I just thought, everybody, every one of our watchers, inside and out, needed to hear his story because it's good. And I don't even know it all yet. I just know a little bit. And so man, Steve, tell us who you are right now. I mean, you married, single. All the single ladies need to know if you're married or not, so they can tune out.
Exactly.
Just kidding. But let us know who you are, man. Your family, business, everything.
Happily married. My name is Steven Trevino. I'm from Grand Prairie, Texas. I am the owner of a pet waste removal business called I Scoop Poop. We scoop dog poop on a weekly basis. It's a business that I started.
How did you come up with that business? Like what made you sit there and go, okay, I want to scoop poop?
When I was younger, I did it. I did it for my brother, and I did it a few times for my sister's house too.
They paid you, or you just did it for free?
They did it. They would pay me $20, and I would go over there and I would just do it real quick. I would have a glove and a bag, and I would just pick up the dog poop. And so, when I was incarcerated, I told myself, man, I wanna come up with. I want to do this again, but I want to get, 25, 30, 40 customers and make it a good little side hustle, So when I got released from prison in August of 2020, I got released on an ankle monitor. And so I could only be outside from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was detailing cars with my dad, et cetera, and I was cutting hair. I was the officer barber when I was when I was away, which was really cool. I have a bunch of crazy stories about prison. I mean, you wouldn't even believe half of them. But yeah, I started. I reached out to my brother. I reached out to my sister and my parents' neighbor, Steve Tillman. And I said, hey, I'll scoop your poop every single week. Every Friday, I'll be here no matter what. And they said yes. So I had 3 customers off the rip. And my brother was like, hey, this is a good idea. I said, yeah, I'm going to go door to door, knock on doors, and let everybody know. He said, well, let me get you a box of door hangers. So the door hangers said, I scoop poop, quality poop scoop at an affordable rate. Call Steven for a quote. And, I mean, it was in August, September, so I had to put on a pair of jeans to cover my ankle monitor because I didn't want people saying like, hey, you got a criminal walking the streets, you know? So I had to wear some jeans, and I would go door to door and just put door hangers on everybody's door. If I saw somebody outside, I'd be like, hey, do you have any dogs? How many dogs do you have? 2. Hey, for 2 dogs, I'll charge you $20. I'll come to your house every single Friday. And before I started passing out the door hangers, it was absolutely crazy because, you know, I knew that this idea was going to be good. I knew that if I got 100 customers, I could make a good living.
Yeah.
I mean, you multiply $20 a week times 52 weeks out the year. That's over $1,000 a year per customer. Get you 100 quick customers and make $100,000. That's where I was thinking. So
With very low overhead too. I mean, just
I didn't have a car at the time. I didn't have a driver's license.
So you had really low overhead.
I had nothing. I had whenever I started getting more and more customers, like my dad and I would have to go do the poop scoop appointments before we would go detail cars, or we'd have to do them after. And then I'd have hair to cut at night. This box of door hangers, though, I go get from my brother, and my brother says, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" I said, "I'm about to go pray over this box." And he starts laughing because they didn't know how spiritual I got when I was in prison, dude. I had some encounters with God, some crazy ones where I'm just like,
yeah,
what was that?
Yeah.
And I just knew it was him. So then I see
pray over them. So you pray over the door hangers.
Pray over it. Lord, I think this is a good idea. Please bless me with customers. Please bless me with good paying customers. And just, you're the center of this business. I work for you. And man, we just started going ham.
Were you doing this all in your local neighborhood first?
Yes.
Or were you having somebody drive you somewhere else?
So my mom, on the days where my dad and I wouldn't work, I'd have my mom drop me off at one part of the neighborhood, and I would be putting door hangers up all day, and then she'd have to pick me up on the other side of the neighborhood. And she said, how'd it go? Good. I passed out.
And so
like
until you got
flyers.
until you got a vehicle, you were just poop scooping locally, or
Yes.
would you have your dad or somebody drop you off in the
Dude,
neighborhood?
it was crazy because we wanted it to be local, just in the neighborhood, but then Mansfield wanted it. So then I started going to Mansfield a little bit. I would have to get rides from my brother, my dad, my sister. Hey, y'all got to take me to my poop scoop appointment. So I didn't get my license until January. No, maybe it was December. I didn't get my license until December.
About 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah, so everybody was taking me everywhere, and I would have to bag everything.
All right, I want to pause and talk to everyone coming out of prison, that are in prison, about to come out, and everyone that's been out saying, I can't find a job, I don't have a vehicle, I don't have this, I don't have that. I just want to pause and make sure you're hearing what this guy is saying. He's on ankle monitor. He's on ankle monitor. He's doesn't have a vehicle, doesn't even have a license right off the bat, but he's utilizing people in his life that are willing to help him. Most people get out of prison, I don't want to ask nobody for help.
Oh, it's terrible.
He's willing to utilize people that want to help him, made door hangers, got them to drop him off when he needed to, is detailing cars for his dad. On the side, I guess that would be considered a side job. Cutting
it was
hair,
all side jobs.
Everything's a side job, but you're trying to make the pooper scooper your main job.
Yes.
And then he's cutting hair on the side of that too. And none of this he needed a car, and none of this he needed a license to do in the beginning. And so there is no excuse. There is no excuse.
In December, we already had like 30 customers. We were already making 30 grand a year.
Wow.
In December, and I still didn't have. I just got my ankle monitor off because I had it on for the first 60 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, we were in.
So you got out in August, and by December, you're already making $30,000 in your own business, not working for somebody else, in your own business,
My own boss.
with nobody giving you an SBA loan to start off, nobody buying your equipment.
All profit.
Yeah.
All profit.
I love it. I love it, man. Okay, so that's what I wanted to just reiterate for you guys that think that there's nothing you can do. You know, there's always something you can do. There's always
It was funny because there was one time when I had an initial visit. Bless you. I had an initial visit, and dude, it took me like 45 minutes to pick this poop up. I had 4 heavy, big grocery bags full of poop, and you know I did it for $20.
I was gonna say, do you charge more for those?
Now I
visits?
do. You know, if there's months of poop out there, you know, I'll charge 60, 75, $100 on the initial visit. Then we can do 20 a week after. But you know, we got to do what's fair. Me picking up this is not fair for me to do for $20 because you could cancel tomorrow. You know.
Yeah.
I had these bags of poop, and my dad was just sitting there waiting on me. And I get these bags of poop, and I put them in the truck, and he was a little upset. He was like, "Bud, you know, I mean, you know, we got to go detail cars. We got cars to detail right now. We can't be doing this, you know." He didn't. My dad is the most supportive man in the world. I mean, dude, he's just absolutely amazing. Shout out, Pops. He didn't see it. He didn't see the vision at that time. He just saw that it took me 45 minutes to make you know, $20.
Oh.
And it was hard
Which
work.
is still not bad.
Yeah,
$20 for an hour.
Exactly. But
as a
you know, it's not
business
it's not an 8-hour shift.
right,
you know,
right,
it's So the next week I tell him, "Pops, we gotta go do this house again." And he's like, "Well, but we're not doing it before. We're doing it after the cars." I was like, "All right." I was like, "All right, cool." So I go to this house and I pick up the poop, and I have, you know, one bag of poop with me at this time. And it only took me like 7 or 8 minutes to do. And I come outside and my Pops is nowhere to be found. "Pops, where you at?" But you know, I'm at the house because we were in our neighborhood, their neighborhood. "I'm at the house." "Pops, I'm done." "What do you mean you're done?" "I'm done." "But why doesn't it take you 45 minutes? Because I only picked up a week's worth of poop. You know, it didn't take me a long time. And so, dude, at that time I was wearing shorts. And so, dude, I had this ankle monitor on, and I was posted up in this neighborhood, and I had a big old bag of poop. And I'm just, you know, I'm nowhere to, you know, I'm just walking in this neighborhood looking all suspicious and stuff, you know. And my Pops comes and picks me up, and he couldn't believe how fast it took. But you know, that initial visit took a little longer, and sometimes dreadful because, again, at that time I wasn't adjusting the prices for the initial visit. So it was, sometimes I wanted to quit. I screw this.
Okay, so that was 4.5, 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
So where are you now? How many houses do you have now?
Man, we have my brother is my business partner now. And him and I together, we have over 500 weekly customers.
500 weekly? Wow, bro.
We're doing anywhere between 75 to 95 houses every day, Monday through Saturday, 52 times out the year. It doesn't stop.
Wow.
And, you know, and then it's beautiful too.
And I can't imagine there's that many businesses that do this. There's probably some competition, but you know, I mean, how many other companies do you compete with? 3 or 4?
When I first started, it was just 2 other companies and myself.
Okay.
But this thing on Reddit blew up where, you know, you could make 6 figures in less than a year if you follow these guidelines, and everybody wanted to become a pooper scooper. Even the people that were making fun of me when I started, like, "Oh, my 12-year-old does that." You know, now they're trying to invest in my business. Now they're trying to start their own poop scoop company up north. And that
person that made the video on how to do it probably never had the business. They probably just made the video on how to do it. So there's some guys that some people like. There's a dude going around right now. It's all over social media saying, talking about investors to investors. Say, why are you invested in single homes? Why don't you start a sober living home? You can make lots of money and help people out at the same time. Click on this, subscribe to me, and I'll show you how to do your own. He's never owned a sober living home,
Man, no way.
And he doesn't know. He's saying all these things about how easy it's going to be.
Yeah.
He doesn't know he's not saying how hard it is and how you could. He's telling people, that you go to these rehab places and they will pay for their client to live in your sober living home, and that's just not true. That's just not true. Maybe in some states they do that, but not in all.
I can't stand when somebody says, "Oh, I learned from a pamphlet," or "I learned from YouTube." Like, dude, it's the best thing to learn from is experience. You talk to somebody.
Okay, so you got family, wife, you married?
Yeah, I got. So I when I got my ankle monitor off, I reached out to my wife. The friend at the time, her name was Carrie Belgard. Now she's Carrie Trevino. We knew each other when we were younger, and I always liked her, but I felt like she never wanted to give me the time of day, and she kind of felt the same way about me, which was kind of weird. I didn't know that. And whenever I got my ankle monitor off, I reached out to her on Facebook and said, "Hey, do you want to go have a bite to eat? I want to let you know where I've been, why I disappeared, et cetera, et cetera." And she agreed, and we met, and I told her everything, where I've been, where I was, what I'm doing now. I found Jesus when I was in prison, so don't think I'm some, criminal, even though technically I am, but, that doesn't hold me back. And she was just like astounded. She was more astounded of my love for Jesus than anything, and she was making fun of me like, you have a poop scoop business? How many customers do you have? I said, I got about 12 customers right now. And she's like, who pays for that? And I don't know. And her a couple weeks later, I was doing her house and her parents' house.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was going scooping their poop. I told them, I said, hey, I'm gonna come over here every Thursday. I don't want y'all to pay me anything. They're like, no, we're gonna pay you. I said, you better not. I said, it takes me just a few minutes. You ain't paying me. But yeah, so her and I got married in November of 2023. She's pregnant right now. We're about to have our first little boy here in about 3 or 4 weeks.
And what is it? Your November is going to be your two-year anniversary?
November will be our 2-year anniversary.
Anniversary.
November 18th, and he's going to be due probably about the 14th or the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
I know.
Okay, so
lots happened, bro. Lots happened. Whenever you listen to God, man, He moves quickly.
So let me ask you a question. Have you had the opportunity at all to share your story with any of your clients?
I was very reluctant the first 5 years of my business. I mean, dude, I could feel God tugging on my heart. Go tell your story, make it about me. Go tell your story and make it about me. And it was killing me because I was just like, man, I don't want to tell my clients. I don't want them to think that they got a prisoner in their backyard who's, trying to steal something. So recently, maybe about a month ago, I put my story out on Facebook, on my business page, on a few other community pages, on my page personally as well. And yeah, man, it kind of blew up. People weren't looking down on it. They were more happy and ecstatic of the transformation that my life has done than looking at me like, oh man, he's a prisoner and he's in your backyard.
I mean, you may get those anyway. There's always a few of those. I don't want to call them stupid people, but ignorant, and not in a demeaning way, but ignorant and just not knowing how to process your full story of who you used to be and how that doesn't define who you are now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that maybe back then it wouldn't be safe to let you in their backyard, but now it's fully 100% safe. And so there's a lot of people in life that just don't know how to process that kind of stuff. And it's sad because when somebody calls himself a Christian and they don't know how to process that, then that makes it harder to really to just help navigate life with those type of people. So
yeah, man, it's dude. Yeah, they're not at peace with themselves. Whenever you hold grudges like that, you don't see you don't see, you know, the light, those people are mad at themselves. It's impossible to please them regardless.
All right, so let's do the background check now. Obviously, you know, the theme of the show is your background shouldn't hold you back; it should pay you back. And now, you know, now that you're sharing your background out there, it's starting to pay you back, because you're going to start seeing other people's lives be changed because of your story. You know what I mean? And impacted because of your story.
I hope.
And so, you know, let's start. Man, where'd you grow up? Where'd you where'd you live? And then just talk about when you know, when did you start? At what age did you start getting into trouble? And
Exactly.
what was your drug or drink of choice and all that?
Oh man. All right. I grew up with a married mother and father. And I had a brother and a sister, and dude, we grew up great. We grew up in the suburbs right over there by Lake Ridge, and you know, we played sports. All of us passed. You know, it was funny when I was growing up, my mom wasn't like, "Oh, you need to be on the A, B honor roll." Like if I brought home a 76, she'd be like, "Good job, Papa. Good job." You know, so we always you know, we grew up, you know, not spoiled, but a little more wealthier.
You had everything you needed, and then some, probably, right?
Yeah, my dad.
So you didn't come from a broken home. You weren't, you know, live in a bad neighborhood. You didn't have all these knocks against you like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You're probably like me. I mean, I had every you know, hand up I could get with my family.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. And if you know, if you have good intentions and people see that you're a good person, anybody will help you out. They could just see the light in your eyes and say, "Hey, let me help this guy out." You could always ask. So I got addicted to pain pills during high school when I was 15 years old due to a football injury. And dude, the doctor gave me two refills of a bottle of 90 hydrocodones, the strong ones. And man,
you were 15.
yeah, 15.
Wow.
And man, dude, I totally got addicted to them. Like I like the way they make me feel. They helped me sleep, but they gave me energy. It was really.
It's kind of
really
weird, yeah. I mean, I didn't get introduced to hydrocodone until later in life, but I understand what you're saying. It gave me energy, but it also allowed me to calm down and go to sleep if I needed to.
Weird, right? Kind of like honey. Honey gives you energy, but it helps you sleep. You know. Yeah, man. And from there, you know, I just started taking them every day. You know, quit football and just.
Did your parents know this, that you were?
Yeah, man. And there was nothing they could do, bro. I didn't care what anybody thought. If I felt that little withdrawal, I was gonna take care of that, you know. And eventually,
Did you, after the refills, did you have to start getting them illegally, or?
Yes, yeah, okay. Absolutely. And
I
I didn't even know about them. I didn't even know they were. You know, you got them from all the other football players or anybody else that was prescribed to them. You know, they're. You know, you give them your lunch money, and you know they give you 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. So, at some point, did you, like all of us addicts and alcoholics do, kind of level out and need something stronger and something more?
Yeah, absolutely. I ended up getting introduced to heroin. I was knocking doors for an electricity company, and I was good at it. I'd go door to door, ask people to, "Hey, let me see your electric bill. This is what you're paying. With my company, you'd pay this. You're gonna see a $1,200 savings a year if you come with my company," and et cetera, et cetera. But man, I was working with a lot of dope heads, and I eventually got introduced to heroin, and man, dude, it was crazy. Like there was no stopping from there. It was crazy.
So where did that land you? Did you was that how you eventually spiraled into your first brush with the law?
Yeah, man. I got caught up with the law back in 2011 or 12 for a drug charge, and I ended up doing 12 or 14 months, something like that. I ended up going to Safe P. Got out, and I was on the right track, but I still wasn't done. You know, I didn't have that spiritual awakening like I did this previous time in prison, and I just wasn't done. And I was just trying to move too fast, and ended up going back 3 or 4 years later because I started with pills again and eventually led to heroin, and I lost everything. So I got out of Safe P, stayed straight for about a year, started messing up again, went really out of my mind. I mean, it was way worse than the first time. I was addicted to Xanax, methadone, heroin. It was, dude, I even hate talking about it because, man, it was bad. I mean, as much as I want to say I'm not ashamed, I am. I'm ashamed of who I was back then.
Yeah.
And I lost everything. What was the question?
So you stayed straight for a while, but then you got back on the pills.
So then I got
Xanax and all.
Yeah, exactly. So in 2017, I got in trouble. I got in trouble and did some outrageous, stupidly things. Yeah, man, I got locked up on December 18th of 2017, and I had a hold on me, and I couldn't get out, so I had to accept the fact that I was going to do some time for a long time. Called my parents, told them, hey, I messed up. I said, I see now that was a dumb decision, and I'm sorry, and I lost everything, the trust of my family, the trust of my brother and my sister. I was even married at that time, which was, just completely, compulsive and, or impulsive. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I got locked up, and everybody but my parents gave up on me, and it was hard. The Fed sentenced me to 37 months. The state sentenced me to 36 months, and I ended up doing 32 months total. And then I got out in August 18th of 2020. So I did exactly 32 months.
Okay, so you were telling me earlier about an incident where you didn't go to the feds. The feds didn't, come get you or whatever at some point, and then you got the state charge. You got the state charge, and then you got out of the state, and then the Fed was trying to come pick you up again.
So what happened was I got sentenced. I spent about 17 months in the feds. I got sentenced to 37 months, so I still owed them about 20 months. Went back to state. They gave me 36 months. For the state charge, and I ended up doing the rest of my time in state. It was crazy because, let me continue the story, then I'll go back. So my mom's telling me, hey, I'm going to come pick you up. I said, don't come pick me up. She had my uncles, my aunts, everybody was all excited to see me, and it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
So
she's
anyways, so I told her don't come because the feds are going to be there. The feds weren't there, and so I didn't have a hold on me or nothing. So when I got out, I told my parents I still got to do 3 years federal probation, and they said don't call them. They're gonna come take you. You need to spend some time with us. I said I need to call them. I called them. I said, I'm supposed to be on 3 years probation. What do I do? They had no record of me. And 2 days later, they ended up giving me a probation officer. And I was like, oh.
That's crazy. It scared you, huh?
Thank God. So I got on probation. Doing good. I got this company. Now we're about a year and some change in. And now I'm detailing cars with my dad. I have this poop scoop business, and now I have an employee that's picking up the poop for me. I'm still cutting hair, 3-4 times out of the week. I was busy, and I tell my probation officer all of this, and he calls me and says, "Hey man, you have a warrant out for your arrest, a big warrant, one that they're trying to come get you like ASAP and kick down your door." And I said, "What do you mean? Well, why do I have a warrant?"
And what was that warrant for?
Because I never went to federal prison. I was in the federal holdover for 17 months, but I never went to federal prison.
Okay.
But I was on federal probation, and they thought I was on the run. And so they said, Officer Pounds told me, he said, I've been working for you. He said, I've been working.
So the feds thought you were on the run while you were actually doing state prison time. Is that when they thought you were
no,
on the
they
run?
thought I was on the run when I got released.
You got released from state prison and didn't immediately report, or well, you tried to report.
I
though.
did report.
Yeah,
and I was on probation, but they didn't see that. They thought I was on the run. They
That's
didn't.
crazy.
They didn't do their research.
That's crazy.
Dude, they had photos of me detailing cars with my pops. They had photos of me scooping poop. They had photos of me just everywhere. They were ready to kick down my door, and Officer Pound said, "Hey, don't kick down this guy's door. If I could reach out to him right now, and he'll turn himself."
So this is Officer Pounds, your state parole officer.
No, federal probation officer.
So the federal probation officer didn't even know this whole time that the feds thought you were running from them?
Not until there was a warrant out for my arrest.
How in the world can you be on probation, federal probation, meeting with him regular, and him not know that the feds are actually looking for you?
I don't know. Ain't that a shitty situation?
Wow, man, that's crazy. That is crazy. It's all right. All right, go ahead. So he's fighting for you.
He's fighting for me, and he tells me, he says, I talked to the judge. I told him how well you're doing. I told him you had an employee and that you have your own business, that you got your own LLC, et cetera, et cetera. And he said that he never does this, but he'll do it just this one time. And the judge gave me time served, signed off on it and everything. I completed probation in September of 2023, and I got married a few months later.
Man, that's just because I spent a lot of time in the state system, that sounds like some state system crap that they just did with you with the federal. But I guess the federal is no different than the state. They're still.
When I was away, I was asking to get time served too. When I was in the federal holdover, I said, God, I want to go home. Please give me time served. But dude, for that whole 7 days, I was fasting for time served. I said, I was only eating from 5 to 6 p.m. every single day. And dude, I would save all of my food between 5 and 6. I was so hungry. But dude, when you fast and you could only eat from 5 to 6 and you make that promise to God that you're going to do it, in exchange, God willing, that you can give me time served. In exchange, God willing, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what I was asking for. Dude, I stuck on this schedule for 7 full days. I was so hungry. The food was so good when I did eat. And then I waited another 24 hours, did it again for 7 days. And then when they sentenced me to 37 months, I was upset. I was like, man, my fasting didn't work, But dude, that was God's timing, because I had to go do that 32 months in state prison, and then I got out, and I never went to federal prison, and the judge ended up signing off time served.
So you ended up getting the time served. Just didn't seem like the exact way you had planned it.
Is that crazy?
But it's what happened. Mm-hmm. So all right. So tell me. I mean, obviously you had an encounter with Jesus at some point. You told your wife, when you first reached out to her, you told her you're not the same man anymore than you used to be. So what happened, and how did it happen? Where did it happen? Was it at state prison? Was it in federal holdover? When did you have this encounter that changed the whole trajectory of your life?
It was, I have 2 stories, and it'll all come together. So just bear with me for a second. Okay, so I remember October 3rd, I read this book called The Divine Revelation of Hell. And dude, it freaked me out. Basically, where are we going to go whenever we die? Either heaven or hell. And the way they were describing hell was someplace I never, ever want to go to. And so I remember October 3rd, I said, God, you have all of me. I know what it means now to surrender. I surrender everything to you. And I told him, I don't want to be selfish no more. I don't care what people think, Lord, but I don't want to be selfish no more. I don't want to hurt my family anymore. Please take this selfishness out of me. I'm all yours. You have control. Because that book scared me. The next day, dude, I could just feel the tension in the air. It was like the devil was mad or something that I gave my life to God, because everything could just possibly go wrong that day. And dude, it was crazy. And the feds, you get a DVD packet. I was in a 24-man tank. Eight guys in each room. 3 rooms, 8 guys in each room. You had 8 Colombians, 8 Mexicans, and 8 blacks. So one weekend, the Mexicans would get movies. The next weekend, the blacks would get movies. The following weekend, the Colombians would get movies. I didn't care, man. I tried to stay out the way. One time I ordered a movie, and it was There's Something About Mary.
What?
Bro, that's the funniest movie in the world. I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't even thinking. Dude, it's so funny.
Chick flick in
Man,
prison.
it's not a chick flick. It's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
Dude, when you
it's a
see
romantic comedy.
when you see the cover, it's all pink with Cameron Diaz in a dress. It's so gay.
Did you get flack from the guys in there? Did you get flack?
Dude, I hid that movie. Where's your movie, Trevino? Don't worry about it. There was this. I'm not gonna use any names. I'm gonna try to change the names in the story because I just don't. I don't want to put any names out there. Let's just call this dude Jay. All right, Jay was a big old 6'4" black dude. Just Hey, let me see what kind of movies y'all ordered. Trash. Dude, he was a jerk, bro. He was the worst. And man, he just walked out with his chest out. He kind of looked like Des Bryant, man. Tall like him too, tatted from the neck down. Just a mean dude. He worked out every day. The dude had an 8-pack and everything. I mean, he was ripped and he was scary. I'm not gonna lie, he was scary. Well, the DVDs weren't turned into the bean chute at 6 a.m. So the following weekend, the blacks couldn't get their movies, and they were pissed off about that. And dude, like, they blame me for it, and I'm like, why are y'all blaming me? Oh, Trevino, we told you to put the movies in the bean chute. I'm like, dude, no, you didn't. You know what I mean? No, you didn't. But guess what? I'm gonna take the heat for y'all, okay? And I'm gonna try to go make peace with this guy. So I put on my knee brace and I put on my shoes, and dude, I'm scared. And I go up to Jay, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, you messed up our movie. You messed up our weekend. I said, man, bro. I said, it wasn't my fault, but I'm going to take the heat for it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of y'all. I understand how y'all feel. He was like, all right. Well, who you want? Me or this dude? Me or this dude? And
so there was going to be consequences no matter what.
Yeah, regardless. And I'm like, oh, man. And I just stayed quiet. Who you want? Who you want? And the dude said, I got him. Jacobs didn't say it, but the other day, I got him. And then we started going at it, man. And, oh, dude, I beat the crap out of this guy like 3 times, back to back. He
kept coming back.
After I put my hands on him and then I slammed him to the ground. All right, get up again. Pop. Put my hands on him, slammed him to the ground. Right. By the 3rd time, he looked at me like stop, and I could see in his eyes that he was done. He didn't want to impress his homies no more. I mean, I knew this guy. I mean, we played chess together. Why do I got to fight you?
Yeah.
We shook hands. I thought
that's that stupid prison mentality, man. That stupid culture.
Jay was so mad that I just beat up his homeboy. The next day, me and my boy Parita we're playing handball, and Jay comes up and, hey Trevino, let me holler at you for a second. And I said, what's up? If I hear you boasting about that fight, I'm gonna knock your BA out. I'm like, dang. I didn't care, whatever. I'm not going to boast about the fight, whatever. I don't care, whatever. Well, some people heard that he called me a B word, so then they said, my race,
that's a no-no.
my race, they said, hey, he called you a B, you got to fight him. You tell him that you're not a B. You go over there and you kick his ass, I'm sorry to cuss on this. I know this ain't a cussing platform. So 2:30, the doors are locked from 1 to 2:30. The Mexicans are asking the Colombians, like, hey, Trevino's about to fight Jay. Are y'all in with us? Oh, yeah. I had some backup in there because I was cool with everybody. You know, I'm very mutual. I'm cool with everybody, but I really had the Colombians and the Mexicans on my side. So I'm trying to listen to some rap music on my radio. All these guys are working out and they're doing push-ups. I mean, they're ready for a race war.
Lacing up.
They're all ready. They said, if anybody jumps in, I swear to God, I got you. And it felt good. It felt good for them to say that. And so we all get in a prayer circle. They start praying in Spanish. I don't know what they're saying because I don't speak Spanish. So I say, Lord, I'm about to get in a fight. I said, there's a time for war. There's a time for peace. Father God, help me whoop this fool. 2:30 rolls. The doors roll. Jay's out there. And I said, what's up, fool? I said, you called me a B, and I ain't a B. And if you want to fight, I ain't backing down either. What you mean you ain't backing down? Let's go then. Let's go then. And he wanted to go in the black tank. I said, nah, let's go in the Colombian tank and do this. Man, this dude took all his clothes off except his boxers. Like, he's done this a million times. Talking about, I'm due for a fist fight. I'm due for a fist fight, dude. Just, here we go. Let's go. And, man, he was hitting me on the back of the head. I pushed him up to the chest, pushed him up against the bunks. And, dude, I body slammed this guy so hard. Everybody at the exact same time was like, ooh. And man, dude, every punch was landing too. Like, I would look at his stomach and I'd punch his face. I'd look at his face and I'd punch his stomach. And so he was like that. It was
That's a good strategy.
It was awesome, man. The guards come in, they mace us. A little bit of mace gets on me, but it really gets on him because he's trying to fight the guards coming after me because of what I just did to him. So after that, the guards, they put me in handcuffs and they put me in segregation. And I was in segregation from October 4th of 2018 to October 24th of 2018. And dude, it was lonely in there, bro. Sitting in a room for 20 days. Didn't you say you spent 8 days in?
Yeah, I was 8 days.
That was your spiritual awakening, right? Yep. Well, I had a huge one. And I just gave my life to God like the day before, and now I'm in segregation. And like I almost completely forgot that I gave my life to him. And so I remember when I was in there, oh dude, it was the worst. It was the worst. But I was in there, started thinking about just how cool would it be if I had drugs in here. I would be okay. If I had some kind of drugs in here, I would be okay with just sleeping my time away. And a book falls. When I was thinking that, a book falls. Get out the shower. A book falls right on the face, or while it was open. So I opened the book, and it said, "Dear God, forgive me for not fearing you. Help me to hate the sin that I used to love. In Jesus' name." And I was like, oh God. I said, I am so sorry. What am I doing? I am so sorry. And I got there and I prayed and I made a promise to God that I would never touch opiates or prescription pills again, that I never wanted to be in that situation. Dude, when I was in that fight, bro, like, all I wanted to do was just, I don't know, if we'll just be at my parents' house watching TV, be with my family. Like, I was nowhere near that environment.
Yeah. So in federal prison, were you still doing opiates and getting it in there,
No,
you were free of it?
Yeah, I was free of it, 100%.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So that was like my first encounter. My second encounter, I was at the Larry Gist unit in Beaumont, and I was the officer. I wasn't the officer. I was the officer barber at Middleton. I got moved to Larry Gist, and I became the inmate barber, and it was awesome too. I love cutting hair. If you wanted a fade, I'd give you a fade for $1, or even Steven for free. It was. I'm not gonna say it was cool, but I mean, it was a good way to pass time. And I got there, and like I always had blades on me to line people up and stuff like that. And I remember cutting my finger on a blade, and I had a bottom bunk. And I remember wiping my blood in a cross right above me. And there was a lot of wording and writing and markers and, you know, Bloods and Crips and Tongo Blasts and all that written on the bunks. And that was it. I never saw that cross again for months. I remember like 4 or 5 months later, I was reading the Bible a lot, and I read something in James that said the prayer of a righteous man is very powerful. And I was like, man, Lord, those are good words. I feel now like I'm a righteous man. I have a good heart. Like, I want to help people. I always want to help people. My intention is to help people and pray for people. You know what I mean? I just felt like, I was like, Lord, write these words in my heart. That's beautiful. And the following day, dude, like, I'm sitting on my bunk and I just read my Bible, and like I could just, like, I couldn't hear, but I could feel these words coming into me. And you know, when you hear God, you hear God. And he said, Stephen, not all sin leads to death. Pray for others and you will be blessed. This is your calling. And I was like, oh, God, what was that? And then it said it again, Stephen, you know, not all sin leads to death. Pray for others, you will be blessed. I was like, Lord, was that you? And dude, when I looked up, I saw my cross with my blood on it, and I could hear God just, I am talking to you. And I was like, dang. Oh, and I was just like real freaked out. And it all made sense to me, because when I was younger, I used to pray for a lot of things, and I knew that my prayers would work, because whatever I prayed for, they would just come true times 10, you know, way better than I ever expected. And then, you know, I got hooked on drugs from 15 to 27 years old, and I just completely refrained from that. And then, you know, I had that spiritual encounter with God, and I said, I know what I need to do now. That's all I need to do is pray for others, and I will be blessed. And dude, you know, not that I need a reminder on my phone now, because it just comes natural to me. When I see somebody, I just silently pray for them. Hey, Lord, please fill this person with, you know, wisdom and humility. Please fill them with happiness and joy, and, you know, an urge to seek you in Jesus' name. Amen. You know, little prayers like that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they're all different. But I've been doing that every day since. And, dude, I've just listened to what he said, and my life has completely changed. I have, you know, a business that's thriving, and, you know, it's not even, you know, the money's good. It's not always about, you know, the money. It's about, you know, time and freedom and happiness. And yeah, you know, of course the money's good, but it's not everything I ever wanted. It's the peace and joy that Jesus brings when you really find him, you know, and whenever you sit in a room by yourself, you'll find him.
Do you ever, do you like find yourself praying for your clients as well? Or do you ever get to know your clients on a personal level? You know, do you just they pay you, you go into their backyard, or do you ever get to interact with them at all, and to the point where you're praying for them? That's that prayer for others, you pray that over your clients as well?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Anybody who I meet that I feel needs that encounter with Jesus, I pray for them. I interact with a lot of my employees, or a lot of my customers, and some I haven't met, and they've been my customers for 4 years, you know. But yeah, absolutely. Clients get sick, their dogs get sick. They go through divorces. They're going through financial situations. I had a lady, you know, just yesterday text me and say that she had to cancel her service because she works for the government. She's not getting paid right now. And dude, my heart went out to her. And I told her, hey, you know, don't worry about the balance. We'll continue to service your yard. Don't worry about paying until the government opens back up again. Prayed for her for, you know, financial freedom and, you know, spiritual awakeness if she didn't have one already, you know, keep her healthy, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you find ways to, how do you give back to your community? Do you know, I know you don't share, you didn't put your story out there too public because you were kind of concerned about what the perception of your clients with having a felon in the backyard. But what are some of the other ways maybe that you have been able to give back since you've been out, or to pour back into others since you've been out?
Man, honestly, I really need to do more, to be honest. Anytime I have extra money and people, and some people need it, for a sick family member, or for medical needs, if someone's in need of extra clothing, I'm always doing something to help somebody. If somebody on the side of the road has a flat tire, I'm always going to be there to help them with that.
That's good. A lot of
if
people won't
somebody's
stop.
stranded, somebody's stranded on the road and they're blocking traffic, 100% I'm going to pull over, tell him or her to put it in neutral, and I'm going to push. And while I'm pushing, somebody else is going to help push too. Dude, just I should be doing more.
Well, we can all do. We can always all do a lot more, but that's good stuff. What you're doing already.
Giving a little.
And then you're donating to Forgiven Felons now too.
Yeah,
so
donating
that's
to
cool.
Forgiven Felons. I'm doing that. Yeah, every month. Again, that should be a little more too.
we appreciate that, man, and because you don't just give to me, you're giving to our ministry that helps so many people that get out of prison, that come to the house, so many people that we reach through the podcast, nationwide. So when you sow a seed into us, the fruit is very visible, highly visible, but also there's a lot of fruit. And we thank you for that.
No problem. You're absolutely welcome. I love what you're doing, dude. I'm a big fan of you. I've known about Forgiven Felons for years.
Wow.
So,
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I used to go to that church in Cedar Hill.
Trinity
Christian Church. Yeah.
Really?
I got baptized there.
At one of the plunge parties? Out
Yeah. With all the food vendors.
Dude, I cannot believe I'm just learning this now. Like, are you
What was,
related to people that go there?
No,
I know there's some Trevinos there.
I was married before, and my ex-in-laws went to that church.
Okay.
And so I just went with them, and I mean, it was a good church. I liked it.
We're not there anymore either. We go to Social Dallas with Pastor Robert Badu.
Nice.
So
yeah, it was a good church. Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Yeah. Well, now that's amazing. Like, I didn't even know you knew about us. So
yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Forgiven Felons, dude. I've been knowing about y'all for a minute. A lot of my cousins know about you too.
Man.
Daniel Lyon, don't you?
Yeah. Daniel Lindsay.
Daniel Lindsay. Why did I say Lyon? Why do I say Lyon?
He puts that on Facebook. Daniel Lyon, Lindsay. He goes by Daniel Lyon, but it's not.
Danny Boy.
Yeah, Danny Boy. Yep.
Yeah, I was locked up with him, man.
Really? In prison or in jail or where?
In prison at Larry Gist Unit.
Okay.
He used to work the kitchen. He was a fool on that grill. He was a fool on that grill, and he
got
still
out
is.
2020 as well.
Yeah, him and I got out about the same time.
You got out in August because he got out June 30th.
Yeah. Wow. Damn, that's pretty good.
I remember. Well, he came to our transitional house. So he stayed there for I think 6-8 months or whatever.
That's my boy, man. He's what a
awesome.
transformation of on his life that God's done, right?
He went in at 15. He was arrested at 15. Spent 2 years being confirmed as an adult in the Harris County Jail. Was in the Gladiator dorm. And got thrown around like a little rag doll. I mean, we've had other guests on the show that was in that Gladiator dorm with Daniel and said, "Yeah, I was the one that threw him across the jail, because he was so little and so weak." You see pictures of him as a 15-year-old, and you're like, man. But yeah, he tells his story. He's told his story on here on the podcast, and but man, he was in a coma for 18 days.
When
TDCJ, while he was locked up early on, TDCJ told his family, we're going to pull the plug. We can't just, because he's property of the state, and the state's paying for him to be on life support, and so, or being in the coma. And so they're like, if he didn't wake up, we're pulling the plug,
right?
And so, but he came out of the coma, and I'm glad he did. And so, 2015, I think he said, was when he got saved at some point he was at the Styles unit, and he was there he went to the gifts for the program unit. Is that you? Were you
Yeah,
there for the
FI
program?
FI5, FI6.
Or like a showgram is what I like to call them instead of programs. But that's cool. Yeah, Danny's been on the show and he's doing really good now. He's doing a lot of stuff with PEP now on the outside with PEP. So
PEP.
Prison Entrepreneurship Program.
Oh yeah, he invited me to that.
Yeah,
that'd be a good thing for me.
Yes, you. Absolutely, you need to be involved with PEP.
Really?
Because what they do, they have a program here in Venus, real close
No way.
in Venus at the Estes unit, and what they do is they take them through this year-long business and Christian character program, and but they teach people how to start their own business, how to write pitches, how to write business plans, how to do marketing, how to do all that, and so they invite volunteers to come back in that are business owners, nonprofit management owners, all that stuff. I've been in with them several times, and so somebody like yourself who's been in prison but also is a business owner now would be amazing to go back in there and just listen to their pitches, but also also be like a judge on the day where they're like trying to figure out who the best, business is. And all
that'd be cool. That'd be
judges.
Cool.
And so yeah,
I'm all about pitching, willing, and dealing.
So I'll connect.
I'm sure you are too.
You can either, I can, do you know how to get a hold of Daniel? If not, I'll give you his number.
I could get a hold of him.
He could get you in contact too. But
I was invited to, and that's another thing of me falling short of giving back. I need to do more. I always feel like I'm falling short, but yeah, I will definitely get in touch with Daniel. He's invited me to that to one of their.
They have different events out here on the outside as well that he goes to. He sent me pictures and videos the last few that he's been able to speak, and that's been great.
Danny boy.
But they got ones inside here at the Estes unit here in Venus, and at different times of the class they'll have pitch day. They'll have, judging day. They'll have all those days where they need more guys like you. So that's a way you can. And you don't have to go in every week like some volunteers do, but you just go in on the main days where you're judging the pitches, you're listening to the pitches, or
don't you wish that, man? We need to do something to where we could push that in actual prison. Like we need to. I mean, I don't know. It would be cool if somebody push that to where all the people who are about to get out of prison, it needs to be part of the FI6 to take this class. And instead of them just sitting around doing nothing about drugs, what about going whenever you apply for a job? Don't just fill out an application and turn it in. Like, ask for the hiring manager, shake his hand, and forced to have an interview right there. Learning how to shake a man's hand and do eye contact, talk, yes sir, no sir. If you're going into the world with that prison mentality of, oh, this fool disrespected me, like, bro, you gotta take some crap sometimes to be successful. And if somebody criticizes you, take it as constructive criticism. Don't take it to the heart and just say, hey, yes sir, no sir, I'll be better.
That's good, and that's the reason on this show. What we like to do is we like to teach, not only just share stories of Jesus and restoration, but also teach people, give people tips, like you just did. Like you gave them game right now. When they get out, they're gonna remember. Stephen from I Scoop Poop said that I don't need to just go in there and fill out an application. Ask for the hiring manager. And that's one of the differences between what we do on the tablets and what other organizations or sermons. They don't sermons are great, but they don't always need a sermon. Sermon will help them in their spiritual reentry journey, but sometimes we need help in our practical reentry journey.
Yeah. Or, another good thing would be is, dude, you said your mentors went back to prison. Like, we need to really warn them about how real and scary it is out here, and how there's way more temptations out here than there are in there.
Yeah.
Man, I've seen so many people all about Jesus, all about, praying, working out, praying. All of a sudden you're calling, asking me for $10 for cigarettes. Like, well, you've only been out 3 or 4 months. Hey, where you been? Oh, by the grace of God, I've been sober for 7 days. Like 7 days, bro? Baba, we've been out 6 months. What do you mean you're sober for 7 days? What happened? Oh, I got in a car wreck. That's probably why you're sober. Dude, we need to I don't know. I keep saying we because I just have this urge to do something. So I don't mean
Well,
it. I know you're doing your own thing.
Yeah, no.
It would be
keep praying on it, and you just never know. Maybe we can do something through the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Separate stuff through the podcast that reaches everybody.
I think a promise to God is like the most important thing you can do. If you keep that promise to God and stand on it, like, dude, He will bless you.
Yeah, well, the one thing he said to me when I was in prison, or when I was in, when I saw my mentors come back, and I asked him, how am I going to make it? He said, I'm going to give you this dream, and as long as you pursue this dream, you'll never come back to prison in this capacity. Now, I go back to prison all the time. I just went to Florida, Alabama, North Dakota. I go to prisons all over, and so, but as long as I pursue the dream that he gave me, of giving people a safe space to land when they get out, helping people when they get out, even if they don't come live with us, helping people, then I'll never go back to prison in that capacity in which I was in when I prayed that prayer, when I was asking, because I'll never go back to prison in a trouble capacity unless they frame me and wrongfully convict me and all that. And if they decide to do that,
because your intentions are good. Your intentions are to help people, not hurt people. Drinking and driving, out the question. Man, that's crazy.
I'm 22 years sober now.
From alcohol?
From Jack Daniels, yep, from everything. Yeah, Jack was all I ever drank anyway.
Yeah.
If you saw me with something else,
you don't have a beer every now and then. Good for you.
No desire.
Good for you.
No desire, and I don't push my conviction on anybody else. I tell everybody, look, if you want to socially drink, that's up to you. That's between you and God. Don't stop until He convicts you. But when He convicts you and asks you to stop, you better stop. That's what I tell everybody. I just played golf with somebody recently, and he said, man, I feel like God told me to give up all these things that I'm going to in times of whatever instead of Him. And he's like, I don't ever get drunk, but I do go have a beer or two when I'm feeling this way, or I do have a drink or two when I'm feeling this way. And he said, God's convicted me that I'm going to that because of a certain way I'm feeling instead of coming to God and talking about the feeling with Him. Wow. And he said, because of that, I think that's why He's asking me to give it up. He said, I still haven't given up. I said, you better give it up. You're going to find yourself in trouble. If God convicts you, it's all about personal conviction. Okay. That's why when people ask me, will you ever drink again? No. Will we ever get drunk again? No. That's my personal conviction. That's what me and God has worked out. Mm-hmm. Okay. I said, you need to figure out what God is convicting you about. What's your journey? What does He want to partner with you to add to your life and subtract to your life, from your life? And so, do I ever feel like drinking? Heck yeah. I had one of the guys in the transitional house one time was like, do you ever get tempted? I'm like, heck yeah. Sometimes you guys make me want to drink. By the way you act, when you do stupid stuff that you're going to sit back to prison. It makes me want to go have a Jack Daniels, but I'm so strong. This, how you build a muscle with resistance. Mm-hmm. You put weight and resistance up under this bicep. And the more I do that, the easier that weight gets, so I move up in weight.
Right.
And then as I do that, as I continue my resistance, my muscle's getting stronger and I can handle more weight. Right. So saying no to something is resistance.
Right.
So saying yes to something is giving in. I gave in and said yes, made it easy for Jack Daniels all these years. I said yes to him.
Did you?
When I started saying no, I've said no so long now that my resistance muscle has gotten so strong that it doesn't matter who's around me. Doesn't matter how much is in my face, I won't drink. So,
man, that's beautiful, bro. That really is good for you.
And that's my journey. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm at, And I look at what alcohol took from me. I look what Jack Daniels took from me. He took everything from me, every single thing.
Damn.
And so, for me to say, okay, I'll have a drink of something that took so much from me. It's kind of like cheating on God.
Wow.
Because God gave it all back to me and then some.
Wow.
So why would I, and the thing about it is I still get drunk. I just switch bartenders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still get drunk. When somebody that graduated from our program, a year later sends me a picture with keys in front of a home, That's a high right there. That's a buzz that Jack Daniels ain't ever been able to give me.
Wow.
When I know somebody graduated from our house, moved on, and bought a home. That's amazing.
Daniel Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they get when they get a new car, or when they get every kind of escalation in their life and elevation in life, they'll send me a text. I'm like, "Whoo! I got one that just planted a church. Well, just launched a church. I went to his church launch. He sent me a flyer and say, "Hey man, we're launching a church." I'm like, "I'm gonna be there."
Wow.
That right there was ain't nothing Jack Daniels can do for me the way I felt that day when I was in that guy's church who was at our house just a few years ago. So all right. Well, I do need to ask, who's your favorite football team?
Dallas Cowboys.
Why? Well, I mean, you do like to work with poop, so that kind of makes sense because they play like poop, and so okay.
Man, as many times as they've given me a down week, you got to rep the D, the triple D. Just a fan. I've been a fan since I was younger.
What other sports do you like?
I like basketball. I like to play baseball. I like to go watch a game. As far as watching it on TV, I don't do so too much. I like pickleball.
Do you? Are you getting good?
I'm a natural. I was pretty good at
Handball.
Handball. I was really good at handball.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I was the best. I was pretty good. And it's kind of like that. It's the same footwork and everything, and you just gotta. Oh, dude, pickleball's the best.
I love it. I love it because you could swing so hard. If you swung anything else that hard, a tennis racket, a racquetball racket, a baseball bat, that ball would go forever, But you could swing. You could swing so hard.
Put some spin on it.
The wiffle ball. Put some little English on it, and that thing just. Whew. So, but yeah,
man, there's nothing better than a good game of pickleball.
Our family loves pickleball. I don't know if my youngest daughter likes it as much as my oldest daughter, and me and my wife. We got pickleball courts right down the street down there by the police department. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So, okay. All right, man. I want you to look at your camera, and I want you to share a message of hope for everybody out there, whether they're on the inside of prison or outside. If you want to separate that message and give a separate one to people that are still on the inside, federal. I think we have a few federal facilities that watch us, not a bunch. It's mostly state and county jail.
Nice.
Of over 1 million inmate tablets, most of them are state prisons and county jails.
Right.
So just give them look at that camera right there and just give them some hope, man, and tell them what's on your heart. So.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Man, Jesus changed my life. I would get into that Bible. I would read Proverbs. I would study Proverbs. I would read James. I would read Ecclesiastes off the rip. I would change my intentions to help other people. Help other people. Have good intentions. Don't cheat nobody. And make a promise to God that you'll stay away from whatever tempts you, whatever your main temptation is, whether it's women, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's whatever. Make a promise to God that you'll stay away from that and stick to it. Excuse me. Change your intentions. Help people, pray for people, and your life will transform. Your mind will transform. Your heart will transform. But take it serious. Don't just do it in prison.
All right, man. That's good. That's good. All right, how can if people need their poop scooped, how can they get a hold of you?
You can get on my website, www.iscooppoopdfw.com. You could also type it in on Facebook, facebook.com/iscooppoopgp. You can also reach out to me at 682-408-9502.
All right, we'll have all the information there on a slide at the end of the show for them as well. But is there any like boundaries, any service areas that you like? What's the furthest you'll go right now?
Man, I am anything in the DFW south of 30, from from Arlington, Irving. Yeah, I'll even go a little north of 32, just a little bit in Arlington and Irving. But anything south of 30, all of the DFW from Dallas, Lancaster, Midlothian, DeSoto, Venus, Joshua, Crowley, Burleson, Mansfield, Grand Prairie.
Why not more north? Is there a competition up there that you don't mess with, or?
No, man. We just we built our foundation on the south side,
Okay. All right.
and we just constantly get calls on the south side.
All right.
It would be nice to move up north. We're slowly getting up there.
Slowly.
We're in Las Colinas right now. We'll
Okay.
get up there to Farmers Branch and Carrollton.
All right.
Eventually, here in about 2 or 3 years, hopefully we'll have 800-900 customers. We'll see what happens.
What's the hardest part about this business?
The
diarrhea days?
Nah.
I mean, how do you clean it? I mean, I've watched you. You modified this whole
Scooper
your
deal.
equipment. Yeah, you modified it. It looked like, did you cut the back of like a dustpan holder? You cut the back of that out, and that's what gives you the hole.
Yes.
You put the trash bag on. Then you put little notches so you could hold the trash bag. But I understand. I have a dog, so we have poop in our backyard from time to time, and but there's times where he gets sick, and that poop don't scoop very well. So,
man, I like to get it with some grass and rake it and clean it as much as I can if there's some loose grass. Sometimes you'll have to wait until.
dries up a little bit,
Sometimes
come
you'll
back
have
with
to
it, come
wait
back the next
4, 5, 6, maybe a whole week, and just
Okay.
wait till it dries. Because if you try to clean it up, it's gonna really
make
make
a mess,
and
yeah.
it'll make your backyard stink a lot.
oh man,
Yeah, I would say, man, nothing's really. I mean, we've gotten it down pretty good. I mean, everything's pretty easy. You go, you scoop the poop, you keep it all consolidated in one area each day. The hardest part is, I would say, finding good help. Right now, I've been very blessed with some really good employees, but during that time, I've struggled to find good employees. People that don't show up, people that have every excuse not to show up, people that leave poop in the yard, that don't double and triple check. I would say finding good help is the hardest.
isn't that crazy?
And I pay pretty good too. I pay decent.
All right, now is you got good people right now?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you just, whenever you do need to hire somebody, just shoot me a text, and then we'll put it out there, and people know what you do.
Boom.
If you're looking for somebody, we'll probably send some people your way. Where are you based out of? Like, where are you wanting? Like, if somebody were to work for you, where's the best place for them to live?
Honestly, Mansfield area would be great. Midlothian's fine too. I got people that live in Midlothian. I got some that live in Lancaster, or one that lives in Lancaster. I have one that lives in Fort Worth. He's my main guy. He drives a lot, but I ended up getting him a really good gas-saving car, and he's driving it on my dollar, which
Awesome.
he could, as long as he's doing good, he could hold on to that car forever. But yeah, I would say Mansfield, Arlington, Grand Prairie would be a good area. Again, Midlothian, Venus, just
Yeah. Well, man, that's awesome. I love what you do. I love how it got started. Even as something that you were doing when you were a kid, has turned into something now that's, more than paying your bills, and helping other people out with jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you did it all while you were on ankle monitor, with no vehicle and no license,
Yeah.
You didn't wait for all the same excuses, just like in prison. We would say, hey, come to church with me. Oh, I'll go to church when I get out. No, you won't. If you don't do it in here, you're not going to do it out there. Oh, come do this with me. Come work out with me. Oh, no, I'll start working out when I get out, and I can go to a real gym.
Oh, that's
those
the
same
word.
guys don't ever do it. They don't go work out. And so then those same guys get out here and go, oh, I'll be able to find a better job or a job when I have a vehicle, or when I get my license, or when now I get my license, now I get my vehicle. Now, it's always I'll
This
get my win.
this one guy, he wanted. I was locked up with him, and he wanted a job, and I needed a guy at that time to work 3 days a week. And I asked him. I said, "Yeah, do you have your license and insurance?" And he says, "No, dude, I don't have my freaking license. Why do I need my license?" I do, because you're driving a vehicle. You need, you're not gonna be picking up poop and you don't have, your own insurance and driver's license. You need a valid driver's license to work for me. Man, I have, I've gone to the what is the DMV? Yeah, I've gone to the DMV, man, and it's just a hassle, man. The lines are long. I'm like, the lines are long. Like, dude, that's every excuse.
Commissary line, pill line, all those lines, chow hall line. He must have forgot all those.
Dude, make it a priority to get your driver's license. That should be the first. Nobody's going to want to hire you if you don't have a valid driver's license.
Yep, I know, man. Wow. All right, dude. How can we pray for you? How can everybody that watches and listens to us? How can we pray for you?
Man, let me think. Give me a second to think.
All right, I will. I'll give you a second to think, and
just continue to fill me with strength and wisdom, and to give me an urge to give back even more.
Amen. Amen. Well, we're going to also add that God gives you a vision for scaling even bigger, wider, deeper, and bringing you all the employees you need, the right employees, the good employees. Yeah, so, absolutely. All right, well, man, let's pray it out, and then we'll get out of here, man. Right. Father, thank you for this platform. Thank you for Stephen, Lord. Thank you for I Scoop Poop and all the other side hustles he has, Lord. Lord, thank you for his family. Lord, we thank you that you're giving him a vision, the vision you gave him a long time ago, it's going to expand to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And Lord, we thank you for everybody watching. We thank you for that one person watching who's kind of like, not really knowing what to do at this moment. They may be having all those excuses that come to mind for starting either a job or a business or whatever. Lord, we just cancel all those excuses in Jesus' name, and we just speak the motivation and drive and spirit of Stephen Trevino over their lives, so that they can start that book, start that job, start that business, start that endeavor, Lord. No matter what it is, Lord, it revives some of these dreams that people had when they were kids, Lord, that maybe you want to turn into a business or a platform or whatever, Lord. Revive those dreams, Lord. And we just thank you. We thank you for what you're doing in and through Stephen. And we can't wait to see how more of the story unfolds. And we can't wait to read his book one day. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Ha ha. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Background Check Podcast, brought to you by ForgivenFelons, helping people with a past realize their future. For more information, please visit ForgivenFelons.org. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and please don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss the latest episode. I'm Jaden Gum, and this has been Background Check.